sessions. All right. Y'all hear me? Let's get it loud and clear. That's right, go. Ooh. Hello. And we go like, yeah, yeah, now bring it in like. Dig into the beat, vibe. The 1, 2. Yeah. We're gonna make it slick for y'all. Drop it down like. Y'all feeling weak? Bring it back one more time and then we out. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your brother L. And making beats like off the dome like, yeah, and feeling good like. Boom. Yes, indeed. We back. We had a few technical difficulties. Sometimes, the powers that be don't want us to stream our music. But we got another thing to tell them because we're back. For real. I appreciate y'all staying there with me. I didn't know the sound was off. And sometimes I actually need your help to stay on track because these type of things are not obvious to me immediately. So thank you very much, especially my man Brandon Bro, who hit me up, letting me know. My man. Okay, so as we do, we like to break down the first track to kind of get a footing of what we'll get into today. All right, so just to let you know what's happening today, we're going to continue with sound design. We're going to arrange a piece. We're going to figure out some other ways to embellish your music. We're also going to think about the perception of certain things and how we receive environmental sounds. Yes, what does that mean? How we receive the things that we hear? You know, do they inspire you? You know, and another question to think about, and we're going to put this in the back of your head so that we can come back to it. How do you train your ear? Hold that while we dig into this track. So, I got a chance to use one of my favorite tools here, and that is the step sequencer. And, you know, we went into that in some detail, but came up with this little beat. I wanted it to be, you know, something reminiscent of like an old, really cheap drum machine, you know. So I used this 70s rhythm box sound, okay? Just to let everybody know, we're working at the tempo 75, and we're working in the key of A minor. The tempo is relevant at this moment, but, you know, obviously the key will be relevant in a moment when we introduce some harmonic material. You like that? Pretty slick, huh? That is so cool. All right. And then I did one of my tricks that I've been showing you all about splitting up the drums. So I needed a little bit of thump, a little kick underneath, right? So this is what I did. Real simple. It's almost like it sounds like I'm banging on a table. I muted out the drum a bit because I only really needed some of the lower end frequencies. Remember I was telling you about how we can do that. Well, what I did was just turn down the high cut a bit. So it was cutting off some of the high frequencies. And that is the part where, you know, well, it makes the drum more or less present. If you want your drum to be less present in your mix, you know, you could always just turn it down in volume. Or you can change the frequency content of what's coming through. What I chose to do is not mess with the volume, but change the frequency content to contour the sound. There you go. A little bit of sound design, right? Okay. Next, what I got here? Right. Old school hip hop, or stadium rock. You know, everybody can vibe with it. Yeah. So I augmented it with a clap. Right? But what I did to make it more interesting is that I split the tracks up. Y'all getting what I'm saying? I split the tracks up. That's what Brother L did to make it all gel with a certain, you know, coolness to it. Okay? But that gave me individual level control. So that was the, you know, the essence of that. Okay? And now I put in another drum. And how did I get that reverb? Do you all remember? Does anyone remember how I got reverb to be so long? So I went into the plugins and I added a track reverb. Remember, you just hit edit and then you can add on additional effects. So in this case, I added a track reverb and I changed the reverb time to 3.65 seconds so it can be long. You know, and then I adjusted the wet dry to get a nice present signal and affect it just a little bit to give it a texture. So when I put it all together like this, right? Right. But I didn't stop there. I needed a little bit more knock, so I added a added, well, everybody knows that drum, right? Do I have to tell you what that is? I added a 808 kick. I kind of wish we had a long 808 kick in here. There may be a way, well, there's a way to make it, obviously. I can show you that, but I kind of wish they would have, they would have included some. And they might have, maybe I haven't found it. But I would love to have an 808 kick. You remember when we started talking about envelopes? I would love to have an 808 kick that I could actually change the release. So it'll hit in, boom, but it'll go much further. That one just got like a release. I don't know, what is it, about 1, 2, 3, 4, like or maybe 4 seconds. I would love to have it even longer than that, right? So, okay. I'm glad y'all here and with me, because obviously I realized it wasn't that easy. All right, let me just check and see if everything is cool and I'm back live on track. Okay, cool. We got folks in the house now. Awesome. So then, together, this is how it sounds. So I got the boom. Come on. Who doesn't love that? You can just keep that going right there. Somebody could bust a freestyle. So then I put in some keys. Right? With the organ. Percussive drawbars. I did something interesting though with this that I want to share. So, check it out. When I played this, so I did like this. So I play A minor, D minor, went. Oh, that's what I did, right? Okay. So I played the chord, and then I played the bass note, like as if I was actually playing the organ, right? Okay. I recorded it like this. To make it easy on myself, I went. Right? No. Dun, dun, right. So I went back to A. Okay. Forgive me. That's how I recorded. Locked in, stacked like that. So I was playing the mid-range chord, right? And then I was playing the bass as if there was pedal. You know how organs have pedals on their bass, right? Okay. So I wanted to split up that sound because I wanted to do something different to the organ than I want to do to the bass part of that organ. So what I did is I went into my arrangement and I went into the MIDI notation, and the bass notes, I erased them. I just pretty much clicked hold, and then I selected all the bass notes that were filtered in here or programmed in here, and then I clicked and then I deleted them. Boom. So, and then I had them. So I had the chord here, and then I had the bass note here. See? For further separation of the sound. Now I showed you how to do this with drums, but you can also do it with melodic content. This is another way of separating things to make them interesting for your mix. So I can do other. Now see, what makes that super cool is that the chord texture at the top isn't affected. So let's just listen how that sounds as I manipulate the bottom and keeping the top how it is. So now you get the point, right? So the whole idea is to make these sounds yours. You know, I like to know some of the tricks that you all have been doing. So in the chat, why don't you tell me some of the things that you've been doing to make your tracks unique, along the way. Something that you've discovered within GarageBand on your own or by the class or just utilizing a technique that we have here. Okay, because I've been sharing with you the progress. And let me be honest, I've been learning GarageBand as well as I go, which is super cool because, obviously I have many years in production, but, I'm able to fold in, at a different level, but still, the tools are the tools. And I think that this is a great tool to really get your ideas out. And one other thing, just one other preference. You don't have to be a musician to enjoy making music. Music is just a language, right? It's another way to communicate. So, you can drop in and engage at your own leisure, to enjoy yourself. There has to be a healing feeling when you hear a chord. What if you just want to vibe on that one chord? Meditate. Put a bass note to it. We can have a real cool meditation. Remember, this is for your wellness as well. Ooh, did I say wellness as well? That's why I'm Brother L. Rhyming on y'all. Come on now. All right. So, let's go back. And then I put a lead on top to give it a little bit of interesting texture. Again, I'm all about these textures. So let's just listen to that lead. Someone asked, is this GarageBand? Yes, it is. I can't see who that is. Oh, Uncle L. Peace to you, brother. Yes, this is GarageBand. And I got a chance to go around the sound. You see how we can finesse these sounds? This alchemy synthesizer is so slick. Remember what I told you. It's kind of a wavetable synthesizer. Not in actuality, but essentially it is, because it allows you to lock positions and scroll through them. Almost as if there are different waves. But what's happening here, they have different combinations of how the signal is affected. And you can make your own. Let's see, how will we do that? I like all of these. Okay, let's not use the glide. So let's just say if I came up with something. Okay, that's mine, right? So I think I would just hold, click and, oh no, that wasn't it. There is a way to lock it in. Ah, you would save. Then you would name it. Boom. There's another way to lock it in as well. Cancel here, get back in. I've seen it. Oh, if you haven't seen this part right here, this is pretty cool. has the altimeter. So it knows its position. It's right tilt. Can you imagine playing, right? Pretty cool, right? Ooh. It's lock it back in position. But there's just so many ways you can go about it. So let's put it back. All right. Now, let's get to the last sound. And what was that? Okay. So this particular sound, I had this idea of, like some of that old, like 1980s, like, what was it? Moments of Noise. That's what it was. Yeah. So I had this whole idea. I was like, I wanted to. Anyway, I wanted to pulsate with a vocal-esque kind of choir-esque kind of thing that was reminiscent of the 80s, right? And that's what I did. So that's that. And that's the undertone of what you hear here. So in combination with everything, you don't hear it so present, but I can turn it up. Wait. So what it does, it gives it extra movement. Okay, it's gonna come back again right here. So that's kind of how I work. So I use different parts of the synthesizer with different sounds to provide different feelings. So, this is very intentional on how I create, and it should be intentional on how you create. One thing is interesting to me about working with a sampler versus a synthesizer. So when you sample something, right, ideally, you're sampling something that's already in a certain way, right? It already is this sheet of paper, okay? So you have to make it something. You have to make it something and fit it in to your track. Well, the same thing you have to do with synthesis, except it's slightly the other way around. It's actually building out something that can now fit in your track. So it's just another way of doing something. It's almost like sampling could be deconstructing to construct something. It's like, let me take apart this wall so that I can put it into this other house. Now, you could do the same thing with a synthesizer. Early on I had these debates on synthesizers, samplers, way back in the 90s. A lot of people just really weren't hip to utilizing synthesizers. And they were all about sampling, especially sampling to sound like another producer. Never did get that. It's always best to have your own thing and sound unique. That's the reason why I'm trying to go in depth on how to really get the most out of this program. But if you follow some of these fundamentals, it's just not for GarageBand. Actually, it's for anything. That's why this is Brother L's beat making sessions, right? And GarageBand may be switched in or out. Oh, I got something to say as well. So I want to duplicate this track. Oops. Sometimes I'm moving faster than the synthesizer. Okay, so let's just make sure this is the right one. Okay, that's the right one. I want to duplicate it. I tell you, the double click doubles. There we go, duplicate. All right, I think I might have duplicated more than I needed to. That looks like the same thing. So that's a copy, that's a copy. I'm going to delete that one. And we'll just work. I just duplicated. Delete. I'm sure some people have these troubles, especially like me. All right, so I'm going to delete all this stuff that I have in here for a particular reason so that we can actually start doing some new work together. Um, Let me know that you're out there. What's going on in the atmosphere? What room of the house are you watching us in today? Mm-hmm. Okay. We got some folks in the house. Word. Delete. All right. So I delete these things so that I can actually start from a new place, but not starting all the way from scratch, because sometimes that slows us down. You got it? Good. So how would we, okay, how would we start a new track within the step sequence of when you have notes already applied? Can anyone tell me in the chat? All right, my man, Sam in the living room. That's what's happening. What up, Sam? We had an amazing show on the weekend. Sam produced a show called Quarantine Concerts for Elastic Arts, and some amazing talent. Sam Trump. We had, what's our girl name? I always have trouble pronouncing her name. Megapia? I think that's how it's pronounced. I should know better, but she's dope. All you gotta do is follow the feed and you'll see her. She works a bit with Uncle L sometimes. I think they have a project together. And we actually tried to get her on out for our live PA conference, you know. But we were lacking some funds and other situations. We'll do it again in November, granted that we'll be able to actually gather. So, how will we do this? To erase this, you go into this corner here, the bottom, and that is not how you do it. You see right here where it says, it doesn't say anything. It looks like another step sequencer. You hit that, and then you hit new pattern. Okay, so then you're starting from scratch. Okay. Give me a tempo. Sam, give us a tempo. Oh, we got Jonathan in the house. Jonathan, give me a tempo. Let's see. Let's see. 120. Cool. Now we're working. Working. You can tap or scroll. Got it. So 120 means that we're going to do something rather up tempo now. Okay. So, all right. Let's find a bass drum we like. Somehow I was that 808 flex sounds kind of crispy in the way that I need it to be. Okay, let's see here. So let's just say if you have no idea what you wanted to do. You're like, I don't know. So double click the pattern and you say randomize. Nah, I don't like that. Oh, that's better. Okay. Let's give it something else. Let's go here. Let's randomize. Do we like that? I don't know. It's always interesting to randomize drums after you have some foundational things in. Okay, now let's play with the velocity. Notes can stay in. Give it some chance. It doesn't always come in. Doesn't always come in. Okay, let's find something right here to randomize. Okay, that's good to start with. Let's record that. Like I say, when you randomize, it's always good to have a foundation of where you're starting from. And when I mean foundation, like you probably should lay your bass drum and maybe the kick, you know, not bass drum, maybe like the snare, the bass drum, snare, something like that. Some of the timekeeping things aren't quite as important. I know what I'm saying, it sounds kind of weird, like, you know, the hi-hats and some of the toms, because you can throw those in. Like, for instance, I could throw them in. Oh, but I've already recorded. It's not going to record. That's something else to remember. Once you record it in, it's recorded. And then you move on. Okay. So, but, like, just to show you, just for the heck of it, let's erase this. Oh, I guess the long way. Double click. Delete. Okay. So let's just play. So that's just random, right? Hey, that's even cooler. You heard this switch off? All right, now let's put something else in there. Remember, we already got some tracks stacked. Wait a minute. So, Jonathan, should I continue with drums or should we do something with rhythm that is not the drum? I don't know. I'm open to it. You know, I could easily put something together with this. Loud effect. So that will accentuate the snare. It's just that little extra, little gives you, together gives it a thing. That's cool. Now we got like a little rhythm going, right? Let's find something to play. All right, give me an instrument. Rhythm that's not drums. Okay. Rhythm that's not drums. I missed that, but that's okay. Let's do that. Rhythm that's not drums. So that could mean a lot of things. How about let's go into some of these rhythmic patterns here. Let's see what they have. Oh, what's a good key to be in? I was in A minor. How about G, E, F? G, E, or F today? Minor. All right. G it is. Okay, now let's get into this rhythmic. What's the chill vocal sequences? No. Da, 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 da. Oh no. Nah. That the delay that they have in there set, we could change it around. Okay. Sometimes when in doubt, let's go to the arpeggiator. Make our own rhythmic sequence. I think it's probably best anyway. find something to augment that sound. Echolocation synth. That's cool. I need to try something. Forgive me on my deviation. I got something in my head. All right, there we go. 1, 2, and 3, we go. I hear something. Sometimes the sounds will speak to you, and then you just gotta like, I'm not feeling that anymore. Okay, so take that out. Now I need to duplicate this, and I need to go in, give my full presence of it, and find some drums that I really like. Almost sounds like a whip. I'm gonna whip somebody. Boom. Somebody gonna get a whipping. It ain't Brother L. It's got enough crack like I'm whipping a slave master. Although Brother L was never a slave. Actually, the last name Freeman means a lot. We'll say that for another time. So I will be whooping a slave master. Coming up in there saving my people. That's cool. Let's try it. 2, 3, 4. Right, but that bass drum a little puny, but it might work. Cause it's got something there that could potentially work. Remember how I showed you that we can make drums more present or less present tonally, and we're not going to use the value. It's the compressor. Remember? So if I turn the mix all the way up, that's the maximum effect of the signal, right? And let's just say I change the ratio all the way up. And now let's find out how it sounds as I clamp down on the threshold to engage the compression. It's not bad. Now let's go back to this 70s classic synthesizer. I'm gonna bring it in, but I'm not sure if it'll work. We'll see. So yeah, I didn't think it would. Change the scale, right? Let's go down a little. That's interesting. That's it. So it's gotta go. It's kind of cool. It's almost like a 2010 Dope Fiend beat. Notice I say 2010. Kind of like the cutoff. That's pretty cool, but I think I can make it a little better. But with that, just how I played it. But you know what? Let's edit it and see what's going on here with these notes. Remember, we always can edit notes to see what's going on, how, right? And I can see the velocity of each note. So that goes real close. It goes. Let's see what this velocity, all the way up, maximum. Now that needs to be augmented with something else. Not that. Needs to have like something like ticking, clicking. Maybe that's now we need that arpeggiation. Let's play it. Come back. I hit it right coming in, but let me try it one more time. 2 and 3, and here we go. Oh, okay, so alright, I get it. Oops. Yeah, but that's now we're gonna fill in something. Find it. say. Almost sound like someone speaking. Yeah, that's it. Ooh. And turn the feedback of the delay down. That's probably time. See where there's feedback. Let's see what else is. That's interesting. I just want to so this is the reverb. It's just so long. Need some of it, but now you know what else it needs. I got to put the voice up in there, my mans. All right, let's find samplers. This is a sampler. Hey, wait. 2. Hey. All right. So it's got to go. Hey. Yeah, that's it, baby. You see, I just recorded that in, and then we're gonna put it back in there. There is a envelope control within the sampler, so when you hit new sample, it doesn't start until you say something, and then you can trim it off at your leisure from the top or the bottom. It's waiting for me to engage. Okay, there we go. Now we should be back. Okay, let's put that in there. Too much. That's not bad. Let's see how it is in combination. In the mix. Right. Now remember, I recorded that sound to augment this because it wasn't doing exactly what I needed it to do. So I needed to inject more of me in there. Remember, you can always make sounds with yourself, your voice, you know. You could bang on the table. You could clap. You know, you could And you can sample these things and integrate them just the way I did. Now you see that's kind of vibrating right there. Now if you got flow, you feeling that. Close your eyes for a minute. Just think about sounds. Let's see if we can pull all the sounds up out of here together and vibe as one as we go out, because I think sometimes we just need to think about how we're collectively working. Creep up on them, L. Go. Again. That could be another part of the song, right? Record it in. See, that's one thing that I don't like about this program. When I want it to record, it'll record the last portion and then it won't turn around and record the full 4-bar loop. Yes, that is a problem, GarageBand. That's cool. So what we need to do, because it's a 8-bar loop, we need to duplicate. And then we need to use all sections. And then we can record that in. Slower. And that's another thing. It doesn't catch on the first one, but if you play it back, it's there. Slick. Right? It's like we're talking with it. Again, talk again. Right? Steel's doors opening up. Right, we're in a movie set. Terminator 10, right? And they speaking, we speaking back. Okay, I think y'all getting the point. So, any questions on how I got here? And something that I need to tell you, that this will be the last week of Brother L's beat making sessions. It won't be the end, but it'll be the last week of our 6-week stint, right? So I'll begin again some point real soon, but just want to let you all know the importance of sending me some of your work so I can integrate some of the things that you've been doing with our lessons. That's so important, because for it truly to be collaborative, I need to know what you're doing. We need to embrace each other, right? So real quick, let me go over how to export whatever you have made, okay? So to export, we'll go into document section. First, we'll want to click and name. So we're gonna call this, let's see, who's watching? We're gonna call this, we'll call this, we'll call this T10, because remember I said Terminator 10. Okay, so what we'll do now is click hold, things will appear. Options, we click share, and then we click song. Then we have options of how we can export the file. But first, before we export the file, we want to make sure that all of these things have been checked, right? So like if we're doing the MP3, for instance, we might want to go in and say, we're the artist. I'm the artist, Brother L, composer, Brother L, and the album is Beatmaking with Brother L, right? So I would like you to send the high quality MP3. That's the highest one they make here is 256, okay? Or you can send an uncompressed wave, but the point of doing that is to share it. And then what you would do is that you would drop it into your Google Drive. But let's just drop this into my Dropbox. To find a place, it's going to export the song. You can use Dropbox, Google Drive. I happen to pay for Dropbox, so it's easy for me. But it's not a big deal. Oh, I need to update. Okay. We're not going to update at the moment. But Dropbox, why are you making it so tough for the brother? Okay, choose an account. I got so many accounts. Okay. Composed by L. So now we're into Google Drive. And so to go to my drive, and I got a bunch of folders here. Let's just save it in the main root. Oh, let's make a folder. Let's call this Beatmaking. Yes, with Brother L folder. So I'll know that this is what happened there. And now there's no files in this folder, right? So now we want to save here. Okay. And then at the end you upload. Okay, it says some items failed to upload to Drive, could not be shared. Please try again. Sometimes this works easily and sometimes it doesn't, but you have to make sure that you're connected to your web. Let's just do that first, because this may be a problem for you as well. Okay, I'm connected to my web. Okay, let's go back to GarageBand. Click, hold, share. Song. We want to use, let's use a high quality MP3, share, and then we're going to share it to our drive, Google Drive. So it has to export first, do its rendering. It's thinking. It's saying something. Okay, cool. We want to go into Compose by L. Ah, there it is. We see it, T10, right? Okay, it's going into my Compose by L Gmail. And the folder is already there. So, but let's just check to see. Go there. In my drive, make sure that we put it in the Beatmaking with Brother L folder. No files in this folder. And we want to save this here. Okay. Upload. Boom, now it's working. Sometimes you may have to do it more than once. And it's there. Now what you do, what you do now is you go into your Google Drive. And let's go to Drive. Let's see here. Got too many programs here. Which one is Drive? This is Drive. Let's go into Google Drive and let's see here. Composed by L. Let's go to this one. And you see it here? You uploaded this T10. So now what you do is you click these three dots and then you copy the link. And that link is what you will plug into our chat. Okay, so that I can get this material from you. That link is copied. And you go into Facebook, boom, 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 and there you have it. Boom. And then I'll be able to listen to what you've done, and we can comment, we can add on to it. You can share the project in the same manner if you want to share the entire project. So you just do that and share project. Project means that it will send me all the files of a related project that you've done so that I can actually see how you got to that point. That's super cool too. I would definitely hope that you would want to do something like that. But if you just want to send the MP3, that's fine too. It's always interesting to see how you got to a certain place. Just like what I've been showing you, how I've gotten here, So you can actually better inform me on how to help you. And so it is. This has been Brother L's beat making sessions for today. I will see you soon on Wednesday. Very important. Send me some music. All right? Let's keep this collaborative.